I got caught.
I knew it.
I'm like, I got time. I'm going to quick get a swig.
And I did. I watched you lift your glass and I thought, no, he's doing it. He's going. But that's okay. I knew he wasn't too. So here.
It's all good. It's all good. There could be worse things that you'd be doing.
That's right. Could have been picking my nose or something. Okay, guys. I'm so excited. And Mary, we've already got people joining us in the chat room. This is going to be such a fun night. And hopefully we don't have any of the Mercury and Aries issues. We told you. We told you last week on the weekly astrology breakdown that Aries was going to have people doing crazy shit, acting a fool, getting wild and weird, just doing it. Just doing it. Look at what happened. Look at where we're at. Look at us.
I'm going to say, go back. If you guys don't believe this, go back and listen to our show last week and then look at what played out in the last week. And I'll just say, told you so.
Well, and this is why it's so important, I think, and exciting also for people joining us, because there's a lot of skeptics for themselves and their loved ones to try and understand astrology and how does it exactly make sense. And when people are coming to me for psychic readings and they ask, yeah, I wonder how she knows that. It's not that I have some special gift that other people don't have access to. In fact, a big chunk of why I feel very confident in saying the things I do is because I've looked ahead. I've actually, like, back in the day in school, you remember looking ahead and being like, oh, the questions, where does John get married? Okay, yep, I'm going to read now. And I'm going to pay attention to that cue on paragraph, whatever. And you know the answers. You're ready. You're aware.
We talked about this history-wise. We have a lot of time on this, but I'm just going to say things are going to be bad 2025 to 2026. Pluto in Aquarius, last time that happened, American Revolution and French Revolution. Neptune in Aries, last time that happened, the Civil War.
Well, and you
sent
sent me
a lot of bull crap.
You sent me that darn article, and I will share it in the chat room. And I sent it to a history professor of mine who is really good friends, and I just love his insight. Going back throughout history in all the previous spaces that Pluto has moved and shifted into Aquarius with some of the similar astrological themes that we are having are like 1778, 1532, 1287, 796, 551. You go back, this is at Henry VIII, Charlemagne. This is, the Scottish, what's his name? Mel Gibson. Not Mel Gibson, though. You know what I'm talking about.
The
William.
Braveheart? I get the two mixed. I get that one mixed up and Last of the Mohican. Yeah, Braveheart.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
These times, these like religious spaces of people doing crazy things, revolution, all of this. This is real. This is absolutely, what it is. So here we go. And we can't say that we told you so, but we can say we told you so. And if you go back last week, we talked about Mercury and Aries, which is the complicated communication. Venus and Aries, it's going to be a woman. It's going to be a female energy. Moon in Aries on a Sunday. What could possibly happen on a Sunday that creates a movement, an underbelly of things that really pulls on heartstrings because of Venus and Aries, and then makes people want to go fight and do dumb shit? Mars and Aries. Guess what? I can tell you from Minnesota, we have a few scenarios. There's also officers being pulled out of, gas stations in their uniforms. Like there's all stuff over here, stuff over there, wherever you are at, even a different country outside of America. It's not just America. We're not special. You're probably having some type of space like that where there's like major shifting, changing, and emotional underbellies, making people quite vulnerable to doing dumb, spontaneous things. Yuck. So what do we have to look forward to this week? So Mary,
cold.
Ruth,
I didn't look at
Peggy, everybody joining us. Someone said, yeah, my body's been aching. All of the weather changes. We've got snow up here. It was 70 degrees last week, and we've got snow tonight. I don't know what's going on. Harp. Shh, we won't say that. But that's another show, right? Crazy. Tomorrow, Wednesday. So let's get into this. Wednesday, April 14th. That is tomorrow, everyone. Venus, the females, the women's, the officer in the shooting here in Minnesota has already resigned as of tonight. Venus enters into Taurus. That's really the only major thing happening tomorrow for Hump Day, bringing that earth energy into your relationships. When you think of Venus entering into Taurus, what do you think about?
Since we're going to go to indulgent, I'm just going to add Dragons isn't on here, but I got my little trademark. I got my glass of port tonight for this, so take a sip before I get into my indulgent. Taurus is in Venus in Taurus. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, so it's in its home. It's in its home space. So that's a positive kind of constructive energy. So Taurus is indulgent. Taurus, again, that big bull up on the mountain. Taurus is not going to move a whole lot. This is, so from a romance standpoint, this is, I apologize for that.
Love.
This is stay at home, kind of stay inside under the covers, cuddle, kind of indulgent, romantic. We're not going to change a lot. This is not an energy that's going to change. So unlike last time when we talked about Venus and Aries, like Venus and Pisces was a lot of deception in the world of romance, and I'm not sure what's real and what's not. And then Aries is I'm going to act.
Fire.
Now there's not going to be a whole lot of act. This is going to be indulgent and joy. So I don't expect a lot of romantic shifts during this time period. It's going to be kind of enjoy where you're at. Love the one you're with, kind of.
Love the
vibe.
one.
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. So, again, and for people that aren't familiar, when you're seeing these signs shift, that whole yin and yang, but you'll notice that there's like big kind of shifts when we go from sign to sign. So where it was very like impulsive and very action oriented, now it moves to no. I'm just gonna chill out at home and enjoy. I'm just gonna have my
and
wine,
that could
watch
be
Netflix under the covers.
Could be action and fire. It could have been a bad argument or some type of a miscommunication on Sunday into Monday. Here we are, Taco Tuesday. It could have maybe been something that you're moving into some sort of resolution that on Wednesday, that Venus energy has you kind of feeling. And you guys, and you know this about me. If you guys tune in on social media, you've watched me make a fool of myself and my singing. I hear frequencies a lot of times as music. So, I'm hearing that fire is, Rob Zombie, Ozzy Osbourne, Rammstein, Disturbed, kind of energy. And that is now moving into, and you may have felt that, right? With everything, the female relationships, drama, theater, craziness, embellishment, moving into Taurus. Taurus, that music to me is like Jack Johnson. It's like Ben Harper. It's like making banana pancakes. It's like Jason Mraz, like people gardening, rainy days, making soup.
You're gonna laugh. I always go with it. I'm not advocating any of this stuff, but since you like the music and all that, like my favorite Ben Harper song, I always seem to go to like pot when it's like Taurus. I don't know
it is though. That all right.
Ben Harper's got one. I'm gonna burn one down. That's kind of like my. If we had to pick like music for Taurus, that's kind of
to go from Aries fire to Taurus. That might be, and that's going to be what it's like, which is like, you know what? Let's just see now what's going to happen. Let's talk about it. Let's kind of try and figure it out. And this is going to be the natural way of things or the natural movement of things. And for anybody out there with having had female drama, it's going to get quiet. That may or may not make you paranoid. It's going to get quiet. I have kind of asked everyone in the Gypsy tribe, list who's in your life, who's around you in your village, and then see what they've done. If it was that they did it, like we said last week, They did it. Now, how do you feel about that? How is that going to play out? And so then Thursday. Okay, Thursday, my favorite day of the week, Thor's Day, because it's so close. It's anticipatory to Friday. And on Thor's Day, there is a movement. And you guys know this word now because of last week. We know what it kind of looks like and feels like. Aries. The sun in Aries, sextile Jupiter in Aquarius. Ooh, what do you get, Matt?
I was going to add one thing quick. Is the theme Aries to Taurus. Also, I view like Aries, if it's like war and you're battling, like Taurus time is the time where like both sides stop fighting and go back and start like reinforcing and like healing their wounds and kind of like resting up for the next kind of battle. So I just wanted to kind of share. That's almost like kind of how I view it then too. So you had all this energy. It's like, okay, now we're going to go home and like rest and regroup. That's kind of like the Taurus energy. And you're going to get another very active energy in Gemini that's coming. So Taurus is like the chill and relax. So again, using my sense.
A chill pill.
I'm sorry?
Just take a chill pill. It's that just kind of come in.
Yeah,
it's the chill tent.
Yeah, I had a rough, or it's like you had a wild Saturday. And so now Sunday, I'm just going to like chill, put the fireplace on and put a bunch of blankets on and watch like Netflix for like 14 hours. That's kind of like the Taurus energy of just. And it's gonna be nice stuff too. I'm not gonna eat like I'm gonna have like nice food. Taurus is kind of the foodie energy and just kind of chill. So on this one, so Sun's still in Aries. So I kind of do my sentence thing. So Sun is ego, your outer self, like your I view it almost like your core self in Aries. That teenage guy, impulsive. Screw it, I'm just gonna do it. Sextile is remove obstacles to. Sorry to see this being a bad one. Remove obstacles to. Jupiter is that car opportunity. So the key word for me on Jupiter is opportunity. It's that car pulling up. The door opens and they're like, hop on in. We're going to. And in this case, the space is in Aquarius. Rebellion, unexpected innovation, kind of push against the boundaries. So your core self, screw it, I'm just going to do it. Energy is removing boundaries and opportunities to go push the boundaries and change some rules. So for folks wanting to rebel, for folks wanting to change things, for folks running out and protesting, energy on Thursday, some of those obstacles are going to be eliminated. There's going to be a grand opportunity to go ahead and change some rules and do some rebellion. I don't know. Maybe some new information is going to get thrown out there on Thursday that's going to have more people taken to the streets and blowing shit up. That is what I'll predict. Thursday's a day to stay home and hunker down because I have a feeling things are already volatile. Thursday, there's going to be like gas added onto that fire on Thursday. You heard it here. There'll be something, whether it's that verdict on that case or something's going to happen that's going to just blow more crap up.
It's going to be, yeah. And it's when I look ahead, because this is what's fun about in that Gypsy Tribe space is every month sitting down at the beginning of the month and doing the full monthly breakdown with the astrologers that we work with, and then looking at it, kind of making our predictions and spaces for what it means. And this air energy moving into fire. So that Sun, Aries, fire, pushing people, right? Motivating, influencing, lighting the fire. We didn't light the fire, but the world is burning. That's what I hear in my head. Sextile, removing things. Jupiter and Aquarius. That's that. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. And Aquarius, which is an air. That's when you take the billows, right? That's when you do this on your fire. If you add air to your fire, what's going to happen? Know your tone and your pace. When speaking on Thursday, I fully expect Sun to be something that people are going to do. It's going to be all about ego. It's going to be all about what you see. And there is going to be something that comes to the light, Carol Ann. Something that it's going to be building. And it falls on a Thursday. So for something to be building and stoking on a Thursday,
I'll give it crazy. I'm saying this ahead of time so we don't get like weird comments. This is a crazy nonsensical example just to stay it out of anything controversial. So Aries, how this plays out is the Aries piece. So I just saw something on how cheeseburgers were made, and now I'm all pissed off about cheeseburgers. I don't want anybody to ever eat a cheeseburger again. I'm all mad about cheeseburgers. I'm walking down the street, and all of a sudden a van with all my friends pull up and go, "Hey, there's a huge cheeseburger protest at the McDonald's. Hop on it." So it's like you're upset about something, you're going to want to do something, and then all of a sudden that door is going to, unexpected, that door is going to swing wide open and be like, "You're upset about this? You can act on it right now." And that's Jupiter, is that opportunity just all of a sudden in front of your face.
Right.
And with that Aries energy, you're going to be, maybe this isn't the right thing, but God, it must be fate. It plopped right in my lap. I have to do it. And you're going to have a whole lot of people that are going to jump because they're going to feel like, oh my God, this is just fate that it played out this way. And it's going to be stupid. There's going to be a lot of dumb crap that happens on Thursday because of this dynamic.
Well, and some people in the chat had shared, okay, so I have a doctor's appointment, but so other than that, maybe I'll just stay home. And again, not to encourage people not to go out and do anything or anything. This is not that. This is to act with information. It's like going to Six Flags with the map that tells you where the funnel cakes are. This isn't saying don't go to Six Flags. This is saying that, okay, that on Thursday, if you engage in anything that you don't want and somebody comes up and squeegees your window there at the traffic intersection and you're just having a bad morning and you think, you know what, this is it. This is it. I'm going to yell at this, effort to stop touching my car. I've had enough. You know what? This is not the day to blow air on fire. This is not the day to say something when you don't feel like it. This is hopefully that reminder that of all the days, don't let it be on Thursday, because you're not going to get the result you want. You're going to be getting a fire that, unless you're a magician, and maybe you are, you might be witch like us, where you know what to do with fire, how to manage it, and what's going to happen, and that's cool. But if you don't, and you've often feel like, shoot, I can't handle anymore emotionally, I've not put up enough of my walls, I just can't handle, then don't poke that bear on Thursday. Just be like, you know what? No biggie. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm going to have trolls on Thursday. Man, I got told today to go suck boots, to go do this, go do that. I'm not going to let it bother me. I'm just going to be calm.
Here's another weird example. This is like you have Alexa or your Facebook thing, how these ads go, and you say, man, Hawaii would be really nice this time of year. And all of a sudden you get this ad come up going, book vacations for Hawaii for only $500. Like, you could view that and go, oh my God, it's fate. $500. I'm going to go.
It's a sign.
Think twice. That opportunity is popping up in front of your face for a reason. And it might not be a good reason, so just breathe deep. Don't just jump because it looks like everything's aligning, because energetically things are going to align, but it might not be aligning in a way you really, really want. It's just going to align in a way where you might be inclined to act if you're not really thinking things through.
We're telling you guys this, and it's good that you hear this. Okay. Friday, 2 major things happen astrologically. And anybody, I think that is aware of social services, or you're aware of like Spring Friday, spring fever, April showers, bringing May flowers, symbolically these things to be sad or cry about, or the cathartic grieving, the culling, all the plants I put out too early, all the animals that birthed too soon, and now they're dead. It happens every year. It's not anything new or special. There will always be a certain culling in that space. And on a Friday, people, man, it's Friday. They ain't got no job. They're going to go out and do something. But what are they going to do? Have they been ignited? In fact, they have, with the sun and Aries right behind them. But then what's going to happen, and I'm putting it in here, is you've got the sun in Aries squaring off with Pluto in Capricorn.
Ooh.
Oh, don't say that. Why? Why do you say that?
Well, it is an interesting one. So this is, again, so kind of core self, the core character in a book, Aries, juvenile, teenage guy, screw it, I'm just going to do it. I want to act. Square is like opposed by. So this is an obstacle, where sextile was removing obstacles. Square is kind of like, okay, I'm going to get in your face and try to block you. Pluto, we talk about it every time. For how far out it's that big gear. It's the big shifts, impersonal, very profound, big change, unexpected change, control in Capricorn, ruled by Saturn, rules, regulations, status, achievement. So what you're going to want to do impulsively is going to get blocked by, I'm going to do it in real broad words, like as some people view things. The universe will not be moving in your favor on Friday. What you want to do and where your initiatives are going, you're going to get a big block by the universe.
Song? Can't always get what you want. And you try sometimes. Ba-bum, ba-bum. You get what you need.
I'm gonna label Friday Frustration Friday. People are gonna get frustrated on Friday.
Yeah, Frustration Friday. So parents dealing with small children, caretakers dealing with people that have obstacles in cognitive spaces or physical limitations. Aries for the sun, motivations, feeling, power, ego. Pluto, my life. What am I doing with my life? This kind of, what are you planting and why? What are you going to do about the things happening in your life? Are you going to throw a tantrum? Are you going to have these issues? Or are you going to try and make this regurgitation be something that can nourish what it is you're doing? Or are you going to not do and sit and think for a second? Hopefully you're in the timeout tent, taking a chill pill like we told you to, and you're watching everyone else screw up, and you use this as a moment of, oh, well, I was going to do that. Maybe I won't do that now. Well, like we are here, but I have to add that second thing that's going to happen on Friday, because this is absolutely going to make a difference. And for those of you who have now been keeping up every Tuesday watching this astrological awareness, Mars will be in Gemini, and that will be trying Jupiter in Aquarius.
Ooh. So I get why you said that, because this is like the exact opposite of where the first one's the universe is working against you. I said this before when we've gotten to Mars and Gemini. I view, Mars is action, aggression. It's kind of the male energy. And then since Gemini is kind of like that two-phase kind of shifting back and forth, I view Mars and Gemini as kind of the Robert Frost poem. There's the two paths. So you got the two paths in front of you. So think about this. Trying is synergy is the best way I would word trying. It's synergistic energy. It's not removing obstacles, but it's very compatible. Things are all working in your favor. It's very positive energy. Jupiter is that van pulling up, opportunity in Aquarius to go against the rules. So I think this really fits the Robert Frost poem. Your opportunity is going to arrive. You're vacillating which way to go. A van's going to pull up with the opportunity telling you which way to go. And since it's in Aquarius, it's going to be the road less traveled, the more unique, non-standard option of those two. That's my theory for Friday. But it's going to be very weird because you're going to have at the same time this energy of the whole universe moving against you. So keep in mind, Friday's going to be very interesting. There's going to be this like tug of war of two very, very, very different energies going on Friday.
And this is how I love it that you can appreciate the magic of keeping our own water compartmentalized, that our friends, our family, our village, as we work on our life and the things that we know are sad, business struggles, money struggles, trying to make life work struggles, growth, transformation struggles, sure. But as far as closing down our emotions to things coming back, the regurgitated trial and error, this kind of comes back to misfortune and things that are happening right now in some of the deep areas of magic and how things are moving. If you are full steam ahead and you are working towards something with a goal, then you don't need to be doing wrench it reading or like wrench it life, what I call 2 steps forward and 1 steps back. You don't need to be doing this. And what's interesting is that Mars and Gemini, like you said, Mars, the fight, is two-faced. And that we're not sure what we're fighting for. And trying Jupiter and Aquarius, Jupiter is just saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. This is like a hype man. that's running between people going, get them. No, you get them. No, you get them. No, you get them. And then you have this person that's like, who am I supposed to get? What's going on? What's that? This is a possible miscommunication. Where is Mercury? You kind of look on the chart to see communication. It's still in Aries. Oh, okay. So that means people are going to be doing a lot of talk. They're going to be yapping their mouth. Oh, well, I'm going to be going out there and doing this. I'm going to do that. No, you're not. Or you would have already done it. That's the way the energy is moving right now. But on Friday, people are going to do this and this and this. They're going to be riding a wave really closely. It's basically all the people that come to the show. I guess the best analogy I can give, these people that come to the show and they're like haters, troll talkers. I think in the celebrity TMZ community, there's an Andy, somebody who's got a very button nose and fuzzy hair and 3 children. I can't remember his name. And he's known for talking trash on celebrities, and he got canceled. And then now he's trying to make a turnaround and went on TikTok and then like berated a young woman and was like, look, Andy's still a bully. And so then he got canceled again and was sad and crying about this. This is that two-faced Mars trying with something that is, you're not actually transforming. You're not actually breaking these constraints. And so you're going to get double down. You're going to show up to that always going, oh yeah, well you can't do, you're a crap talker. And then what's going to happen is the main event doesn't show up. Busta Rhymes doesn't show up. And so they go, you always say you can do it. You always say you're the one, get up there. And they toss you the microphone. And guess what? Jupiter's there going, tell them, fucking tell them. You always telling them, go, go, go. Everybody listen. All the cameras look. It's that moment in Surf's Up when it's like, you're going to want to see me beat. And this is going to be the best thing ever. Crash and burn. If you're not careful of how this plays out this Friday, if you are not the one, if you don't have what it takes to back up whatever it is you're fighting for, don't engage on Friday.
And I'll add, when I said that opportunity is going to come up for the road less traveled, that's not to say, much like what I said earlier, don't take that as this is fate. This is the right choice. You still have to decide which path's the right path. All I'm telling you is for the one that's the less traditional of the two options, that door is going to swing wide open on Friday. And so if you want that option, Friday will be a good day to start pursuing it, but make sure you want that option.
Make sure you want that option. Don't find yourself like Sarah in the labyrinth going, it's a piece of cake, and not really actually think it's a piece of cake and know how to get out of it, because you're going to not want to have said that. Jupiter's there with cocaine for everyone, as Chris Farley does in the Galaxy. And Jupiter's all about throwing down whatever it is you're saying and giving you an amplifier and recording it and then putting it on Twitter for everyone to see. So don't make mistakes. Don't be an ex-Teen Vogue editor and make mistakes 500 years ago and expect to not be held accountable for it on Friday. Don't say anything you don't want to say that you didn't say once. Don't do it.
Jupiter Energy, that drug dealer is kind of like a cool like analogy for like the Jupiter. Like Jupiter's all like party, expansion, but they don't give a shit and care about you.
No.
So if you join the party and then are like sick and like dying later, the attitude will just be like, well, you joined the, I didn't.
Yeah, Jupiter's like,
I invited you, you came.
Can't handle it.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, party pooper. Jupiter really doesn't care. And in that sense, I mean, they're just about fun. They're there to have fun. If you're a party pooper, they're really not down to hang out with you. And that's Chris Farley. Like, did you ever see Chris Farley in a sad role? No one wants to see Jim Carrey and the Cable Guy. No one wants to see that bullshit. No one wants to see him in a sad role. They want to see the happy guy doing happy things. And that's how Jupiter, unfortunately, gets casted in that space. Now, Saturday.
Shots, they'd be the one that are pushing shots on the person that's already like half passed out. And then if they like die, it'll just be like, oh, they just couldn't handle it. Like they're right. Like, there's no restraint in Jupiter. It's just all out. To say no. All out. Just go.
Got to be able to say no to Jupiter. You got to be able to say, Chris Farley, no, don't get in the car. And that's hard. It's really hard because it's big, it's happy, it's fun, it's loud, it's boisterous. And that's why on Friday, if you have that group of friends rolling up going, we're all going out looting, it's going to be hard. It's going to be the path less traveled to have to go, you know what, guys? I got things to do. Because then there's going to be, oh, well, you're insert whatever. You have to be willing to have that rebuttal and know what it is that you're going to do and take full responsibility for it. Don't be pressured.
You make a great, I just thought of this when you said that. It's a great point. This could be like the Jupiter energy, the sun with Jupiter could be like, you get a very personal insult or a very personal thing that gets you very agitated on one of these issues. All of a sudden you get the opportunity to go protest and, we're going to loot or do something because of it. So you go do it. Think of that other energy of the sun being blocked by Pluto impersonal rules and regulations. So this is one of these that you go party with Jupiter, the rules and regulations might come down and crack down on your ass on the back end of this. Whether this is, I'm going to go out underage drinking and get nailed or like
curfews.
You have that other energy going on Friday where the law and the rules are going to crack down and they don't give a crap. And so
vaccinations.
It's a weird combo. On Friday's going to be a really, really interesting day.
For sure.
Yeah. All that crap. Yep.
All that crap is going to come out to play.
It's like the party that gets busted. It's like you have this wonderful opportunity to go to a party when you were like a kid, and all this is great, but the party is so big that the cops come and then like arrest everybody. Like it's a great party, and then like 3 hours into it, everybody gets arrested. It's going to be that kind of energy.
It's going to happen on Friday. This isn't the party you want to go to, guys.
Nope, don't go to the party.
Do not go to this party on Friday. Have your own party. Because, and this is why we can say that, is because then you look at Saturday. You look at the dominoes falling and you go, what happens on Saturday? Two things moving on Friday that are pretty important. Then Saturday, boom, boom, boom. 3 more dominoes fall. Now, what is the first one? The first one is Mercury, communication, in Aries. Sextile, Jupiter, in Aquarius. This is, we're going to hear about what happened on Friday. People are going to be pissed about it. And the rules are going to change for sure. But what do you see when you see Mercury and Aries sextile?
Okay, so I'm just going to put this, I'm going to just go right to the analogy part. This is going to be like you're pissed at somebody and you're holding it in, and that person actually calls you then and says, I noticed you've been kind of different, you kind of like distant or something. Is something wrong? Are you okay? Like
you think
you have this aggressive this aggressive urge to communicate, and once again that car's going to roll up and it's going to be in a rebellious energy space, so it's going to want to upset things. So you're going to have this impulse to communicate, maybe like, again, teenager, not very sophisticated communication, combined with the opportunity to express that in a way that's going to just like upset and totally like turn things around and kind of like upset the apple cart. So,
and I think communication. So I know that it's going to be, I don't want to say
disruptive communication. That would be my label for that energy. Disruptive communication. Disruptive,
fiery, passionate. It's going to be, the neurolinguistic programmer in me says it's going to be people wanting to communicate action. It's going to be people at a podium going, do this. Who's at that podium? It's probably going to be masculine because it's Aries. And it might even be conjunctive with some female as well. So it's going to be like groups of people because Mercury is cut between 2 different planets, right? So I see Mercury as the number 2 and I see Aries as 1, 2 in the yin yang and 1 in the yang. So as far as like binary equations of alchemy go, this is going to be a shift of probably 3 people, 2 of them male, 1 of them female, sextile Jupiter male, and Aquarius male. So this is going to be a rollover of rules coming from the president. This is going to be coming from a mayor. It's going to be coming from a patriarchal type space or authority, a yang space. Now, this happens. This is only one of the 3 dominoes that's going to happen on Saturday.
So that tells us what you're going to say next.
So this kind of already tells me that what happened on Friday was big enough that people had to come out in droves and say, here. Now, what else is happening? Mercury and Aries, double down. Okay. Sextile, Mars and Gemini.
Ooh.
The will to fight, Mars. Everybody get everybody get geared up in Gemini again. So it's mirroring what happened previously that week. It's the exact same energy repeating itself, only compounded in the equation. So it's like you're putting an exponent on this, guys. So whatever it is, it's going to be, if the person cheated on you on Wednesday, you found him in bed with the person on Saturday. If this was a riot or looting on Wednesday, they come back on Saturday. You know, like this is going to be a repeat of what happened. So it's going to happen in twos. So when we say be careful what you let happen earlier in the week, this is so that you minimize your variables in the equation for when it gets later put to an exponent space on Saturday. Try and control the chaos.
I see Saturday, after all the big stuff Thursday and Friday, I see Saturday as the space where everybody virtue signals and takes sides, picks one of those two paths on Gemini. So now it's like, okay, so much of this is blown up. I feel compelled to weigh in on, I advocate for side A or I advocate for side B, and you'll have lots of this. I feel the need to communicate again in Aries, and I'm picking one of those two paths.
Man.
So, like, you're going to see much like I see it as, and this gives me a little dread because I hated this space. I see it a lot of like the days after January 6th, where everybody felt like they needed to weigh in on one of those two sides of that issue.
Mm-hmm.
I see it very soon. I kind of am starting to feel as we're going through this, and again, I don't do this ahead of time. I wait to kind of get surprised by you on this. I'm seeing a very similar kind of setup. I don't think it's going to be as big as January 6th, but I'm seeing that kind of thing. Something big's going to happen, and people are going to kind of go to two different sides and start sniping at each other.
And you can see it happening. You can see it.
Yeah.
You can feel it. Now, the third domino falling on Saturday. Here we go. And you can see it playing out. It's Mercury and Aries again. So it's triple down. Now it's an exponent of 3, squaring off with, meaning it's going to be an equal and opposite reaction with energy. It's going to be an opposite reaction. Squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn.
I knew you were going to say that, and I know exactly what. So where I go immediately on that is the Pluto and Capricorn squaring piece is going to be, we're going to, again, rules, and we're going to shut down. So we're going to actually start censoring. So people are going to get like censored and like blocked off social media for taking one of those two sides. Like Pluto's going to come in and say, you're going to want to express yourself in this space. Tough shit. We're not going to let you. Boom, you're pulled off. So
or pulled back on.
One of those two sides is going to get like smacked down on all this and get, either censored or pulled off, or so you have all this blowing up, and then people take two sides, and then the Pluto thing is going to come down on one of those and go, wrong answer, bam,
boom, guillotine. Long term, Capricorn is cardinal. Capricorn is a forward, let's effing get him, boys, the king of earth energy, of practical, objective. So whereas this is usually very masculine qualities, right? Being very objective and non-emotional. This is just earth. This is just intentions. This is just that seed. So this is one of those things that, okay, Capricorn, long-term life, long-term investments. I see this as a big stock market spike right before the big stock market drop. I see this being something that is like Dogecoin or like cryptocurrencies, boundaries, water, things that we know as resources, things like what we're fighting over politically, red and blue in America. Like you can do macro and micro all the way down into your own life and the things that have been really irking you lately, been firing you up. You think about what's been really firing you up lately, making you passionately want to do stupid things. Write those things down and then go, okay, if I do stupid things, I do the worst case scenario on Friday and fall victim to these things, then on Saturday, this, and this are going to happen. I'm going to get cut off. My communication is going to get burned. I'm going to cut all the people in my relationships because I'm going to have said and done the wrong thing. And it's going to Pluto and Capricorn change those long-term investments. And I may not be in the right momentum. I may be on the losing side of things. Not that we want to segregate, because we don't. That's not, energy is not right or wrong. It's about what are you working with and what is helping you reach your long-term goal, knowing full well that Saturday is going to be a day where the universe starts separating its Skittles out? Do you want to be eaten or not eaten? Do you want to be here or there? More importantly, maybe, who do you want to be separated with?
The other thing I'll add quick is Capricorn is the dad energy. Like, Capricorn's the dad, Cancer's the mom. And so if you think of this, I almost view everything you said leading up to this last aspect was like if you just picture two siblings fighting and having this whole thing, and this is all going on, and this is all going on, and then dad's going to walk into the room, and he's just hearing noise, and he doesn't give a crap, really, the details of either side of this. He's just going to come in and go, I don't give a shit. Like, I just want things quiet. You get to your room. I'm kicking you out. I'm doing, like, it's just going to be, all this is going to be going on. And then towards the end of the day, dad's going to step in and just be like, whether it's fair or not, tough shit. This is it. Bam, 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 bam.
Bam.
And then you get your SmackDown.
SmackDown coming on Saturday. Do you want to get it? Do you want to be in the SmackDown? You don't want to be doing this, and you don't want to be doing that. You want to go to your room, but don't do it. Hide. Be aware. Take the trees. Do guerrilla warfare. Do what you got to do. Be smart.
It could play out, since we keep going to this riot thing, it could play out to Saturday night could be when like the National Guard rolls in and we have like our Tiananmen Square thing where people are just getting their heads bashed in with clubs and shit. Like that's kind of the energy I'm talking about.
Right. And I get quite nervous about that, Yang, knowing that so much of the tipping scale is tipped to fire. This is people have really kind of had, and when I watch and look at the comments, and for people who are unfamiliar with that, like being on call as a volunteer crisis person for Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the Tri-County area of Hennepin, Dakota. And now I'm in the Crow Wing, but it's different. These are people in and around that area right now, and hearing some of their struggles, veterans that are hearing gunfire, like the stuff that people are concerned with, and it's there. It's serious. This is one of those things that's, I would just be aware and prepared, rather than out doing this or that. Aware and prepared, pay attention or pay in pain, as we say in hypnosis. That's going to be where I would be. But here we go. As a prophetic psychic, we're using astrology here, guys, and you can see it. You can see the dominoes falling. Sunday, depending on how we went, what path we chose, how the people around us decided to act and speak. On Sunday, two things happen. Two dominoes fall. Good indicator of what happened, by the way. The sun will be in Aries, another fire, and it's conjunct Mercury in Aries.
Ooh.
Fire, 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 liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh, universe didn't want me to talk on this one.
Right?
Excuse me.
Matt, don't tell them. The liar, liar, pants on fire. The sun, the center of the universe. Aries, fire. The gonna take it out. The very self-destructive, powerful, dangerous, possibly, and Mercury. Communication also going, oh yeah? I'll yell right back. What do you think?
Well, conjuncts the combine. So I always go back and think of like those apps where you get to like combine people's faces. So we're combining the energies here. So you're combining the sun, your core self, kind of the core character in the novel, with Mercury, which is expression and communication. So you're going to have very authentic communication. So kind of I view this as we're looking at this whole kind of picture of the week. Sunday will be where people authentically communicate where they stand and all this stuff. So whereas you may have trolling and you may have a lot of like people just stirring up shit on Saturday, by Saturday night, it's like, oh shit, this is really serious. And so everybody on Sunday comes clean and like is communicating in their authentic self, aggressively, impulsively, but it's aligned. There's no the Pisces energy would be very deceptive. And this is just straightforward. Like, oh shit, this is really serious. I'm going to act. I'm going to be, there's an impulse to be very active and kind of forward on this, but it's going to be very authentic.
This is going to be, I think in the Minnesota situations, this is going to be, and nothing for certain happens really on a Sunday in this space. So I have a feeling when I look at the astrology, it's going to happen on a Friday or Saturday. This female that just recently retired, the officer, she's going to be charged with involuntary manslaughter. This is going to be things that happen. People may or may not like that because they do or do not know the law. They wanted the word murder, not manslaughter, and they're going to be Mercury in Aries. It's that communicative fire, that passionate speech, that communication that might be so forward, so fast. And I'll even give another analogy or example in this space where, as I was describing to someone earlier from this Minnesota space, in that particular shooting that's happened that we're going through right now, that's causing all the riots and looting and the Aries season for Minneapolis, you have the police officer who, instead of the police chief, instead of saying, we've had a really horrible tragedy and it requires our utmost focus, attention, and we need to take earth magic, time, and energy to give this case due process and to make sure everyone involved is charged accordingly. We have video cam footage, which is great. We're going to be using all the tools and resources we can to get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, we ask that everyone be safe. Instead of doing that, this idiot goes on and says, crying. This is us telling you guys, don't do this. Don't be emotional in this space. Keep your water separate. Don't go back and take it personally. Go forward and charge ahead. And that you say, and this idiot cries and says, it looks like we had an officer that accidentally shot someone. What do you want me to do? Like, okay, take two, because that was probably the worst thing you could have said. Dumb. You should have thought, you should have said, you should have the tone and the information that you give right now in your Mercury. Make sure you are thinking and that you're speaking calmly, that you are giving people the opportunity to think for themselves. Encourage people to slow down. If you have children at home you're taking care of and you feel the Aries season and people are doing dumb things and pacing and getting crazy and anxious and their bones are hurting and all this barometric pressure and the pressure's building because you see air on fire and the billowing and the alchemy is happening, slow it. Slow down. Slow your speech down. Slow the fire down. Put up little barriers. Don't talk as loudly and get as carried away and throw everything into the fire to fuel it. Be calm. And this is going to be difficult. It's going to be really difficult. We're not saying it's going to be easy. And on top of that, that second domino.
Oh, before you get to the second domino, I wanted to get your thought on something here real quick. So we talk about the grand, big energies going on, but just to give an example of how this can go personally, like for me, and I'm going to be curious, I don't know if we can like research like her birth, that officer, but like that energy, I would just say this is in Mars right now is in Gemini. I'm wondering with her natal chart if she had a Mars in Gemini square, Mars in Pisces. So again, Pisces, deception, the fog. Are you seeing what you're really seeing? Or maybe even like a Neptune, maybe like square Neptune. She had to make a decision. That's the Gemini or the Aries or the Mercury in Gemini. Which way to go? Pisces, water, fog, making the wrong choice. She grabs the wrong handle and shoots the guy instead of tasing him.
Right.
That is kind of how, when we get, this is a whole different angle, but for you guys all personally, like we talk about the big grand aspects here, your birth chart will all have aspects to these things that will influence yourself personally. And that would be like one example. The person communicating up there, she may have had a Mercury in one of the water signs square the Mercury in Aries right now. So that, she went up and had to communicate and totally like effed it up and was like totally like emotional. And because she may have had that square, which I guess for a square there, it would have been Cancer. So that would make sense because Aries is square to Cancer. So I wonder if that person didn't have a Mercury in Cancer.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to find her birthday, and she's 48 years old. She's been a police officer for 26 years, and she's married to another police officer. She graduated from Minnesota in 95, then went and got her degree in criminal justice. And from what I'm trying to find her birthday, but man, they've kind of taking all of her personal information, as they should.
I could imagine.
Right, as they should. But we'll find out. Oh, yes, we will. Because these are the kinds of things that when I say that this is like an equation, to try not and see it as subjectively, because I can't help it. I'm a woman, so I see things very subjectively. But to try and communicate it in a wider way, I try and then morph it into these numbers and the equation of how this comes out in alchemy. It allows you to use that birth chart and almost predict. Like I know on like Witch Talk right now, graphotography, where it's the thing that everyone, you can look and it says like 2 years from now, you'll be at your highest point and making your best decisions and yada, yada, yada. This is nothing new. Astrology is nothing new. And when you do your birth chart and it asks you for your place and time of birth, it's relevant to these geographical things that matter very much to your body and your space.
I'll add real quick here. You don't necessarily need somebody to do. Here's a really quick cheat. If you do your birth chart and find out where your Mars is, when the current Mars is conjunct to your birth Mars, that is, at least theoretically, your highest energy point. When they're opposite, you're at your lowest. So I was actually happy when Mars finally got out of Aries, and it was retrograde for a while. So it was in Aries a long time, because my Mars is in Libra. So I was supposedly at my energetically weakest spot for like the last like 18 months, at least up until like the end of the year. And I got to honestly say I had a rough 18 months. So whether it's real or not, who knows? But, that's something, just a quick cheat. If you know where your Mars is in your natal chart and then find out where it is currently now, that gives you kind of an idea of like where your personal energy is and strength.
Well, and in that space, I like it that you kind of, when you share that vulnerability, because this is how astrology helps me working in mental health. When someone says like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm losing it. Rather than say, I don't know what's wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. And energy is not right or wrong. What are you reacting to? What's going on? Is this something on the inside or something on the outside? And oftentimes to be able to wake up and not to, and a reason and an excuse are two different things. But to be able to wake up and go, you know what? I expect people to be kind of hateful today, And then that way, when they're hateful, I don't think that it's me being a bitch. I think, look at all these very sensitive people that I'm around and how I could almost predict this. And at breakfast, I say, people are going to be hateful today. And then at the end of the day, someone goes, wow, you were right. Was that suggestibility? Was it me implanting inception in their brain? Sure, I could be the all-knowing, all-powerful, but I'm not. It was really that, if you were to ask why, the astrological suggestion. And then that way we don't have to have such personal responsibility. And if you're a non-religious person, spirituality doesn't always give you that confession. It can, if you realize you're connected and can give it back to Mother Nature, and that she causes a lot of chaos. She has a menstrual cycle too. So to be aware of her movements, we're just here for the ride. Now, the second thing that's going to happen on Sunday, which is going to be all this Aries kind of, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Mercury's going to shift at the end of Sunday night, and it's going to move into Taurus. It's going to get quiet. It's going to become a Jack Johnson song. It's going to go from fire to all right, all right, all right. Now, is that going to be of our own free will is the question. So I ask you, when you see Mercury going into Taurus, after this crazy weekend we're going to have this weekend, get ready, guys. What do you think the Mercury entering into Taurus really is?
I want a quick add to Mary. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate that. So again, I'm being specific to kind of what we're like laying out here, but again, Taurus, we've covered it again, kind of indulgent, kind of just kind of chill, kind of melt. So I almost see this then of things being such a shit show Thursday through Sunday that everyone's like, people are getting unfriended, people are getting accounts locked, all these kind of things and stuff. I'm just gonna like sit back and chill and wait and watch and see what happens. So yeah, communication is going to go quieter. People are going to move much more into like a watch and wait space. And they're also going to kind of do things that are like, this is just bullshit. This is like too much negative. If you ever see those people that post of like, I just want to see cat videos. I don't want to see all this. Like people are going to like retreat and watch like, Shirley Temple movies on Netflix. They're going to like totally, they're going to like totally detach and go into. So there's going to be this detach. And really, we're going to get to it probably on next week's show, I think, but there's a lot of other energies that are going to start moving into that Taurus. So you're going to see this very volatile, very active, almost like the storm before the quiet, like the reverse of it. Things are going to start moving. You're going to see in the next couple of weeks, things are going to move into a much more, I view it again, that like battle, the battle's coming to an end, and people are going to go back into their camps and reinforce for the next battle. There's going to be a quiet season coming up.
The retreat after the culling. We've got the grief kind of happening in an alchemy space. It's air right to fire as things are burning and exploding. And then you're going to have that kind of fire go out as all of the resources are fueled quite quickly. And then all the ash kind of subsiding and creating a really nourishing, quiet, easy to see everything because everything's burned now. Kind of.
Really great image. I was just going to say this really quick. When you're talking about the fire, it's moving to lots of earth. So if you picture it, unlike putting out a fire by dumping water on it, you're going to get all this steam. It's like taking a bunch of sand and pouring on it. So instead of like it shifting into more energy and having it's just going to go. So like you'll have all this stuff going on, and then also it's going to be like dead.
Right. Exactly. It's that alchemy space goes fire right to earth, which kind of tells you if you're a firefighter, what fire you're dealing with. If you have a fire that you have to put out and the earth is naturally putting it out, because we should always trust Mother Nature. If it's your faith, then it would be God, and that your original intention would be the right one, and that all things unfold just as they should. And therefore, if it is an earth being putting out on a fire, what do we put baking soda on? Put that on a grease fire.
Yeah. I want to add really quick too, when you think about, I'm just thinking about this. I'm sorry. When I get these ideas, I get kind of motivated.
I love it.
You pour water on fire, you get steam. So think again, fog, not being able to see, clarity. The fact that it's going to be earth, it's going to be crystal clear. There's not going to be like deception over which way do I go, so when things clarify in like the next week or so, after all this like crap and stuff, it'll be really clear where everything stands and where everything's at.
Right. Oh, look, you did this, that happened, this went here, that went there. Whoa, okay then, that's great. And this is going to start on Sunday night, which is nice because then that means we wake up to Monday morning. Monday. We wake up, we look at our astrological cheat sheet. It's Monday. It's been a crazy weekend. It got quiet late last night. Is it still quiet this morning? Well, Monday morning, the sun follows suit and enters Taurus as well. So the sun, center of the galaxy, motivations, no longer going to be front and center. They're going into that intent where we kind of are able to see the true intentions of people and the motivations of people. Though they are quiet, they're fixed and they are in Taurus. What do you think when you see the sun entering into Taurus?
So I think I've emphasized kind of the Venus aspect of Taurus and the the luxury and the not really like indulgent piece of it. There's another piece that I think will be more evident coming out of this weekend, and that is the stubbornness, the fixed sign. It's not moving. So people are going to come out of this. It's going to be clear, and people are going to be entrenched on their sides. There's not going to be a whole lot of shifting on things. People are going to be kind of dug in. People are going to not want to move and everything. I think there's going to be obviously less like aggression on things. So it's going to be a little more stable. People are going to kind of just be reinforcing and maybe just so tired of all the drama that they just want to like chill and kick back for a little bit. But unlike Aries, which is driving and just, screw it, we're just going to do it. Taurus is very stable and not going to move a whole lot. It's just sit, chill, enjoy, relax. So yeah, the big quiet is, I think, what I'm going to start referring to, what's going to come up in the next, like, after all this chaos, there's going to be this big, like, chill space.
And for some people, it's going to be, I always predict, again, working in mental health, I always predict that quietness to be something that is, especially if you're someone born of trauma. I'm always very suspicious of quiet because I grew up in a really chaotic household with abuse. So when things were quiet, that could be bad. If you're out on a camping trip and you walk out and the water's really quiet and everything's very placid and the birds are quiet, some people, that's like, oh, I can finally relax and unwind. Whereas for me and maybe some other people around you, especially after having had a really crazy weekend, it could be suspicious don't take it personally, right? It's going to be relative to them and their own stability, where they come from, quietness, what that's like. Their birth chart will tell you a lot about how they're going to feel in a very earth quiet space. But then Tuesday, which you guys will be back here joining us, right? Because it's 10 o'clock and it's right at that hour mark. And every Tuesday we are joined here with you guys. And we're talking about the weekly astrology. Matt and I giving you this cheat. And you will have already known, and you will know then, just as you know now. But next Tuesday morning, you will wake up after this quiet space, a little suspicious, but you know what? Feeling good, getting some clarity, getting a little confident with what's really out there. And then on Tuesday morning, you're going to wake up. And it's a second quarter moon. It's a waxing moon, meaning that the unconscious drives within us are building. The moon will be in Leo. The moon in Leo. What say you?
Energy going towards ego and self and wanting to express yourself and wanting other people to acknowledge you. And so this is like the diva is probably the wrong word, but like the star wanting the spotlight and all that. So coming out of this now, so people are going to want to, I don't know if it's going to be, since it's not a specific planet, this is all the emotional things and there's no aspect here. I'm just going to say there's like building energy for people will be gaining confidence. That's probably the best way I would word it. So, we have a day of everything kind of quiet. Now people are going to start building confidence, and how that gets expressed, we'll get into next week as we start seeing these aspects. But yeah, there might be some rattled. I think this is going to be a really chaotic week and weekend. But by Tuesday, people are going to get their feet back under them and start feeling confident again. And we'll start seeing crap happen.
Man, when I think about Matt, I just realized this. Think about our sessions that we've had, some of the amazing and wild and cryptic cool stuff that we have been researching in the Gypsy Tribe about numerology, but also the Bible and some of the scriptures about, even this morning, the lioness, Jacob of Israel, and the story of the ox of Egypt. And this space of the lion, Leo, shifting on next Tuesday, and what that kind of means for people's ego, what it means for what they are willing to grab by the neck and shake. That lion lays quite lazy for the majority of the day. And if you think about the male lion versus the female lion, both of them, when they are actually acting, when they're actually engaged in something, it's efficient. And so to know that that moon is in an active fire space that's fixed and unmoving, that's stubborn and ready to pounce. It might be quiet. And that's that skepticism of, it's a little too quiet. It would make perfect sense, because there is a sleeping lion in all of us. There is something still left unsettled, and a waxing moon that is going to come full circle here by the end of the month and the full moon, which we'll get to. And you guys will join us and you'll see it coming, and we'll all know it. We'll know how it affects us. And hopefully you'll know how it affects you, so that you can use all of this information as a support system, as a guide, as a positive pillar of strength for you guys to go confidently into the future and see things happening around you and be connected. Because that's the goal, right, Matt?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So yeah,
these same aspects apply, even if you want to just do this at home. If you look at what's going on in the world, and then you look at your birth chart, all these things that we're saying about what those aspects mean, conjunct, sextile, the energies of the signs, that all applies to you personally. So you can do this yourself, is look at these things and start looking at how the week will affect you personally. We're talking about the big macro energies, but if you look at your own birth chart and how it relates, that'll give you more the micro view.
Yeah. And I like that. I mean, I feel like sometimes when people wonder about that spirituality space and think, gosh, I really find that the Bible and scriptures, or I find that going to church every Sunday, or having this thing that I can look forward to that gives me external explanations of things to find peace within. These are important tools that everyone should have access to. And if you are not guided in a specific way, you can go outside every single day, and every morning the sun is going to greet you. And at the horizon line every evening, the moon is going to greet you. So you are never, ever alone. and you are made of star stuff. So whether you're a Carl Sagan fan or not, there is really divine connection and all of the things around you. And even though you might feel alone, the truth is you are not. And so being aware of all that fun stuff, astrology for me is a big pillar of strength. And if it's something that I can share with other people, I want to. And Matt, hearing you describe it in a way that gives credence to the alchemy, using as an equation, seeing it unfold with other people, and then being able to use birth charts to like see the recipe of your relationships. To me, it's too much math, but the fact that you can do it, if you want to do it, that it's there for anyone, that to me is divine. And that to me is, it's almost more powerful than faith, which I think in times of uncertainty, that's really nice to have. I really like to know what time it is and what is the meaning of this present time. And I think astrology helps me do that. So hopefully it helps you guys. And if you have any questions or you want a reading, I know a lot of people are sending me private messages. I've got 2 right here. If they want a reading or to understand their birth chart, you guys go to Matt. Do a reading, get a reading. He does readings. So you guys can direct message him. You can find him. Where are some places they can find you if they just can't wait until next Tuesday to join us here?
You can find me on Facebook under my name, or you can go at mslozer@yahoo.com and send me an email, and hopefully that goes. I don't think we've had any issues with people getting kicked into spam or anything. So yeah, you can go reach out either way on those and be happy to.
And if on Sunday you're having that quiet evening and it's just nice and calm and you're thinking, I need some spice, I need some flavor for Sunday, they can catch you on Sunday Night Dead on the Paranormal Channel. And you are, I know last week you did Ouija boards and really cool, interesting things with divination. What are you doing this week?
This week I'm going back to, I do like deep dives on locations from my investigation experience. And so we've been going through my favorite place, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. And we did floor 1 and floor 2 the earlier, like months ago. And now we're going to do the 3rd floor, which is actually the best floor. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite, but it's definitely up. It's got a couple wards on the 3rd floor that are just like awesome. So it'll be very cool to do and cover.
Yeah, man, I just love thinking about the Trans-Allegheny because I think of the crazy experiences of what television shows have pronounced for evidence. Mm-hmm. And that one with it was the show with Katrina Weidman, and they're sitting there and that thing crawls up from behind the thing.
I have a picture from that exact same spot that I could make the argument is the same thing. I'll have to share that sometime.
And just the fact that I know you and I know that you've told me you've had experiences there. I can't believe I've not been to that place. I mean, I have family that lives in freaking Smithers, West Virginia. Why have
we got to just do I go there often. I haven't with COVID, but I mean, I go there often, and it's so funny. I have like at least like a dozen people that I've offered. I'm like, come on, I like actually like take you through and like do and like they never take me up on it. So like,
well, we need to plan something. We need to plan something. As I'm reading right now, breaking the 3rd night in a row, protesters and police clashing as downtown rioters in Minneapolis. Here we go. It's 10:10. I'm going to go check the news. I already have an idea of what's happening. You guys too. You were here. You heard it. You heard it first on the weekly astrological and alchemy updates with Sarah and Matt. And you guys be here next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time and tag a few friends that you want to join. And we'll see you then. Otherwise, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And don't forget, contact Matt directly if you want a reading until then. Or we'll just see you on his show on Sunday. You can chat with us there too. Right, Matt?
Yep, absolutely. Great talking to everybody. Have a great week. Stay safe this weekend.
Definitely. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.